Alright guys, see if you guys are back. You're back. 12 watts. Should back that down. So we'll see if everybody's in. I'm gonna do not have my laptop down here. Grab that real quick and make sure folks get in. Should have some folks for the morning. Early show again. Get this guy fired up too. We literally just start this thing and we're gonna get this thing built today and do some testing, do some XMR. We'll do some other testing. Looking for my coffee because that's important. And then we'll get this thing built. A few people in this morning. Continuation from yesterday. You guys give me a loud and clear on the sound. Logged in here. Battery should last a while. Oh, jeez. There we go. Harley.
Sounds good, they say.
Excellent. Get into the stream so I can see your guys' questions and stuff while we get into this. So, just a real recap from yesterday's video. If you're catching us and you did not get to check yesterday's video, doing a build for Mrs BBT's computer. It is the new i7 Core i7 X series. It's the 7800. This is the 6 core with 6 virtual. They did not have any 7820s. That's really what I wanted to get, the 8 core, the original 8 core, which would be the 4 normal. Or that would have been the 8 core and then 16. That way I could have had a proper test against like the Ryzen 1800X. They did not have the 7820 available. They had the 7900 and that's like $1,050 or something. And for a machine that's not really going to be used for nothing but like internet stuff, Facebook and Pinterest and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a little overkill. So this is still a little overkill too. So the build is based on the ASUS Prime X299A, some G.Skill cool RGB memory, H80i Corsair water cooler, and we got a H1000i power supply, mainly because the 650 I bought doesn't have the right CPU pin out for the 8 and 4 pin setup. So that's essentially the build. When we left you guys yesterday, we had this pretty much built. I did not have the glass pieces back on. This case is the 570X from Corsair. It is glass paneled. So you, is this little, yeah, this little back here.
Yeah, it's reflecting just like glass.
Oh, it's reflecting just like glass. What's up? Yeah, so you're probably reflecting back to yourself. This wire is not laying there. So I put the glass panels back on, but that's about all I did. The only other thing that I did is last night when we hooked up, we used one of the RGB fans for the actual cooler instead of using the stock cooler, and I had it plugged into one of the RGB headers up here. What I did is I moved that around. I'll come around here with the mini cam, and instead of that, this thing actually comes with a controller, which this thing's cool, the glass, so you guys can see it. This controller is the lighting mode controller, and then this is the actual controller. It has 6 inputs. It comes with the 3 that are in the front. I just brought that over and plugged that into number 4 there. That way it synchronizes that. You didn't need to use the one on the board when they have the one with the controller that comes with it. So if you're building a build like this and you're going to buy other RGB fans or things that have 4 pins, you can plug it into that controller to ensure everything's synchronized. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw that. But other than that, it was just a little bit of cable management. It still needs a lot more work on the cable management side, but I'm waiting for the other GTX 1080 Ti to come in, and then that way it'll be 2 in there, and then I left the little connector for the SLI in there just for I wouldn't lose it. A lot of stuff around here. So that's kind of where you're at. You guys are up to speed now on the build.
Take
And
that camera and put it that way,
this
so my
ca-
hand is not.
Yeah.
See the little one right here?
Hmm.
See this?
Oh yeah. There,
Oh,
there, there. All right. Well, it's not my fault you're sitting in boxers. What?
thanks.
Miss BBT's still chilling in the boxers. Good for her. A little coffee. All right. So we're gonna fire this up. I got a Windows USB. We're gonna swap. I got our mining rig behind me running. I'm actually gonna power this down because it's blowing heat on me. And what I do for you guys, I'm shutting down mining rigs. And I'm gonna turn off that fan so I don't need that. Open up the sound a little more. We're gonna turn this on and install Windows, and then we're gonna install some all the other fun good stuff, and we'll do some testing with some mining with it.
HDMI.
Yeah, not get the HDMI too. Did somebody say that, or did you just come up with that? You?
It was me.
Wow. Amazing.
Oh, we don't want 2 hours of no signal all today.
Hey, I hear you. I'm with you. It's BBT looking out. So here's the top of this. So you have 2 3.0 USBs, and you got the lighting control here. So this thing's like spazzing out right now looking. You can actually settle that down by clicking some of these different ones. So you can kind of get...
Doing red.
It's doing red, it's doing... You can have it pulse. There's kind of the different color. I should go through all of them. And don't mind the dog. Little what startled it. Alright, so we're going to get Windows. I don't know if we have the other, just get the other scene up so you guys can kind of watch through my kind of setup here. Let's get the other, there we go. So you guys can walk through it with me. And we're going to go through this build. Now this does have the 960 Evo NVMe drive. It should make Windows go pretty quick. I will put that in later so you guys don't steal my key or keys. Get from MSDN. Next, advanced. There's that 500 gig. That's a 500 gigs NVMe drive. I don't know why it keeps blinking on us here. I think it's... I got some extra long HDMI cables, and I think the signal's just at where the TV can handle it. I might need to go to shorter cables. Wow, that was quick. Copying. While Windows installed, we can talk and see how fast this is. Yeah, I don't mind the in and out. I think that has something to do with just the, if you see it blinking and stuff like that, it has to do with the Elgato capture card that we have in there. Is keeps re-triggering the sync on the card and refines itself. Yeah, we get to see how fast this 7800X installing from Windows or from a USB 3.0 drive. The real quick, so this right now is copying it from the SSD or from the USB drive. So that's limited to the speed of the 3.0. But the installing and finishing updates should haul. So we'll see. How much was the case on the left? This guy here, this was right around 95, I believe. We can get a link out for this one. This is the thermal take. Your left, my right would be that one. My right, your left would be this one. So I'm assuming you're talking to this one. And this is the Core P3 SE. Snow Edition. What's the going price on that? I forgot what we paid for that. I think 95. I think this was 95, and this is plexi. This is glass.
The open case in black on Amazon is $99.99.
Yeah, 99 bucks on Amazon. We'll get a link out there, guys, in the description. Wow, did that thing just already install? That was fast. That's that NVMe Samsung drive. Just installed Windows faster than I could blink. It was boss. We'll get
The open case is now linked underneath the box fans from yesterday.
Yeah, so it's out there in the description now, guys. This case is.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. Nice. Yeah, this one's really good for like a test bench. This is, I mean, I've seen a couple different test bench. You know, Jay and a few of the other folks use the other kind of angled flat one. I kind of liked this one just because, one, I could put a cool logo there, and two, I could still get all the business I need done here, and, you know, put a couple cards in at a time. We're looking at modifying this piece right here, and if I can get extensions on these, like from the back, I can extend these poles outward. We'll have to extend these also, but I would like to get like a 6-card rig on something like this. I just need to take that plate and go this way with it, because we can use risers back to the board, but that's for a mod for another day. But I think we can easily modify this case here, you know, come out to here and then have cards. We would just have to make sure that the baseboard here is a little longer. But the other cool thing about this case, why this one's trying to figure its life out, is you can wall mount this. So this has like all the connections in the back to set up a wall mount. So like you could have wall mounted versions of this that are extended, and have your mining rigs hung on your wall. So I mean, it's kind of a cool thing, thinking about how we could do that with this case. So it's going through and setting up Windows right now on this. We'll get all the basic stuff installed on it, and then what we're going to do is take this one just through some basic benchmarks today. We'll do maybe like a soft sander test on it, a couple other things, you know, just to kind of see what it does. You know, this 7800X, and if we have time, depending how fast this goes, maybe I'll pull the Ryzen 1800X that I have over there, and we can do some cross comparison, because the Ryzen also has a 1080 Ti in there, and it'd be a kind of a good test to see, you know, 7800X. It's not really fair because this is the 6 core with the 6 virtual, so that's 12 total cores. The Ryzen 1800 it would be have the advantage, at least some of it, of an advantage from a multi-core standpoint, since it has more cores. But single core test would be interesting. We're gonna call this one. Oh, this thing just keeps going in and out. I'm gonna have to reduce those cables. This is BBT.
Your thoughts on server GPU cases over open air cases?
Oh, we're gonna do offline account here. I like the open air cases because they're cheap to build. You can go with just wood and keep the cost around 20 bucks. They do the same purpose. Server GPU cases are mainly for space. They're louder though, because you have to have a much higher velocity fan in there to push air through them, because you have a lot more compact space. The server style is just louder. I mean, outright louder. So if you're gonna stack them and you have a space that you can put them in a confined space, the server cases are great, but they're also expensive. The gray matter cases are $500. So I mean, you could build another case, and they come with risers, but I mean, you're talking maybe $70 in risers and $30 maybe in cost, like true no kidding cost. So you're looking at maybe $100, $105, maybe $110 after tax, and your case is done, right? And then you just put your motherboard, your CPU, and all that. Gray matter case, you're looking at $500. There's a couple other, like a Roswell case, and I haven't tested it yet, but I mean, that's maybe $150, $180, and then you gotta put risers in that. So I mean.
Well, and they're asking, what about open air, non-build-it-yourself cases?
Open air, non-build-it-yourself. So ones that people have built and are selling?
Well, there was that one on Alibaba that's just the platforms.
Yeah.
You know, they sell those.
Those will be fine.
I think they sell those on Amazon too.
Yeah. I mean, the case is just one of those things that you need enough room. How you go about it, it really comes down to price and time. Time is another big thing. I mean, some people just don't have time to build a case. Some people just want to buy cards, put them in a box, and make sure that it works. I'm unchecking all these things. So we don't need any of that. I might turn back on the location service because she goes out and they'll do weather checks and stuff, and it's kind of nice to have that from a desktop computer standpoint, but. We'll see how fast this thing loads. But yeah, it really comes down to like what's your situation. You know, if you want to spend the extra money and don't have to deal with the hassle, and you don't mind the sound, the gray matter cases are great because they show up. You put a motherboard in them. They already come with risers. You throw a power supply in there. You're pretty much good to go. You can lock down the top, put it in a closet. That from just a stability standpoint is nice, from being able to stack them and stuff. But if you're trying to look at your fastest ROI, you need to build a case. I mean, you don't have to paint it or anything like that, and you can even use cheaper materials. Use anything that allows you. I mean, you can get racks for 19 bucks. Like the two stack rack, and do it like that. Put your board down on the thing. It all comes down to your metal shelving units. All comes down to what you're trying to do, and if you're trying to go for ROI, or you're trying to do something for a longer term kind of investment that you're going to put into a closet. You're going to just have it run, and literally like an oil rig, just sitting there pumping out, whatever the latest coin is. If Ethereum goes to proof of stake, you're going to move it to another coin and uphold that network. So, and Windows is up. I didn't even benchmark that. That was pretty quick though. You guys can drop in the comments. Was that pretty fast to load Windows? I mean, we're done. Now we just need to. That was probably every bit of. How long have we been on? We've been on for 18 minutes. That was maybe 10-minute install. Olaf, send in some more LTC, buddy. I'll have to check that wallet. I appreciate that. We're trying to get some upgraded equipment. I'm actually going to get like a light bar and replace these kind of stands here, and put an actual light bar up to where it properly gives light. And that's what those kind of donations and stuff are going to be used for, guys. Oh my gosh, that's going to get annoying if this keeps going in and out. I'm going to make sure that all the connections are good. Maybe once we get a driver on there, we can see if it stays. First thing I usually do is I go right and I get Chrome. Chrome or Mozilla, it doesn't matter. Chrome, I think, is a little faster than Mozilla, quite frankly. I mean, just on the stuff that we do. Oh, that is quite annoying. It's got to be right on the edge of the resonancy of that. Run this. And yes. Yeah, this should be pretty quick on everything that we're going to be doing. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. Hopefully after we get the driver installed, that blinking out goes away. So there it is, i7-7800X. 12 logical processors. You can come over here and hit logical processors. You right click on that. Oh my goodness. And then that'll show all your 12. Let's get a driver installed on this so we can see if this thing stops blinking out. Close. We're gonna go to, we're gonna get the latest NVIDIA driver. If and when it stops blinking on me. Again, I think this, guys, is a lot to do with the, let's make sure we get the right driver this time. TI, Windows 64 is correct. Search. We're gonna download that. That just came out yesterday. Check out your guys' stuff for 9 seconds, 10 seconds. I don't know if this kills the stream when we're doing it. It shouldn't. I mean, our downlink's pretty quick. I mean, it's not fiber, but you know, it's about as fast as you get on copper. 120, 140 meg. Take the defaults there. We'll close this. While that's trying to figure its light out, we'll get GPU Z. Download.
Why is it important to have the latest drivers?
Well, I mean, this is a desktop computer, so that we're going to be using as partial for mining. I like just having the latest drivers. Latest drivers usually address issues. It's like any kind of update. You can take a look at what they fixed. Sometimes there's not a lot of things that they don't disclose of what they have fixed. Sometimes usually stability issues, less code bloat. Most of the time you'll have like the major features that people understand. I'm going to give you kind of a basic software development backend understanding. So if a new driver comes out, they'll give you the punch list of what's relevant to a consumer. The other things that they'll usually do and add in there are a whole bunch. You have a couple things in coding, which you have like sometimes like some code bloat, some kind of extra routine, a different way to do the routine that they're not going to tell you that they did, right? They're going to find a better way sometimes to do a subroutine, and then they're going to rewrite that. They're going to test it, hopefully, and that will give a better result, make it a little more optimized. That's why you'll just see as a consumer the punch list that says 20% increase. What that really is in the back end, they've optimized some of the code. They'll do stuff like that. They'll do tech debt, which tech debt just means stuff that they need to fix. They've needed to fix. It's kind of internal of how something operates, and they'll fix that too. So you get not just the punch list of items that were fixed, you get a whole list of other things that usually are fixed, and that's why I usually update the driver. Now with mining, it's a little different sometimes because some drivers work better than others, because sometimes when they fix certain subroutines, it actually hurts the mining. And that's why doing a lot of testing, you know, and you'll see a lot of different forum posts and folks that'll put out there saying this driver works better than this driver. It isn't any one feature that they fixed in there. It's probably a lot to do with the code bloat or any kind of tech debt that they had in the code, or algorithm changes in the background that they had made some, or not algorithm, but specific series of stuff that goes into the code that they've made changes and alterations to that now cause the driver to act a little differently when it's processing, let's say, Crypto Knight's algorithm, that kind of thing, if you're doing some XMR or something. So it really comes down, I mean, when you see new drivers come out, usually most of the forums will have somebody saying, hey, I tried this driver, I had an improvement or I had not an improvement. And it's really observed and, report type of thing. So you put down a new driver on your computer, observe it, report if there's a change. It does not hurt that if once you set up a mining rig, that you kind of take a snapshot of the day and what's your average mega hash, and just write that down to the side. Now there's all kinds of reasons why sometimes the mega hash will decrease, like in the AMD case right now with some of the AMD cards, as the epoch level goes up and the size of the memory buffer increases, the cards innately slow down because they're having to handle more effort essentially, and you will have a decrease because of that. And it's happened, you know, some of the older cards are showing that activity now. Like if you have a like a 280X 3 gig card that still works with Ethereum is doing right around 16, 17 mega hash, where it was doing 21 a year ago. So as it gets more complex and more the memory buffer increases for like Ethereum, then it'll go down. But drivers affect it. The algorithm and whatever's going on with the algorithm will affect it, and then the total difficulty on the network will decrease some of your payouts. So on this build, that's kind of a long-winded answer of what's going on in the background of drivers and stuff, but this this build's going to be her like desktop computer, so I want to make sure it has like the latest drivers and stuff. To make sure it's optimized for what the hardware is in here. And we might do some limited gaming with this too, because when we're doing offline and stuff, we have a lot of different computers down here, so we'll play games and stuff with the kids and stuff, like little Hunger Games and stuff. I mean, it's Minecraft or something, but which, you know, the meme, will this thing run Minecraft? I think it will, a little fast. We'll let this driver get installed. So it's got the latest NVIDIA drivers. Now let's see if this thing keeps freaking blinking on us. It is. Hold on. We're going to. It keeps blinking. Because I know it's not totally the Elgato, because this thing was running fine with that same setup, and we were streaming it. So it's something with this that's causing this thing to kind of, let me go in here and see if maybe we can change to, this display does not store HDC. Okay, we'll just deal with the blinking in and out, because I can't really, this is not that much faster of a display. Alright, so now I want to try to get the latest like driver set for the motherboard itself. Now it comes with a disk and stuff. I don't know why they still ship that stuff with disk. As much as they're spending on the processing and disk anymore, they could send like 4 gig memory sticks out. So I don't know why the manufacturers, if there's manufacturers that are watching this or catch the stream, do us all a solid in the community and just start putting your drivers on USB sticks. That'd be pretty nice. That way we could actually, let's do a Zeus X299. There we go. We don't want specifications, we want support. And then we're going to go to drivers and tools. And we're going to go through Windows 10. We already did the BIOS update, I believe. Or did we?
Yesterday, all you did was turn it on. You didn't plug in a monitor.
You are correct, but I'm not gonna. So, ASUS boards are sweet because you don't have to do the BIOS here. You can do it in the actual BIOS settings. So we'll go and do that in a little bit here. I want to get chipset. We're gonna get that guy. We're gonna get this guy. What is the Declaration of Conformity? Don't know. Don't care. That's a big one. Why are real? This is, I have no idea why the driver set for an audio device, even with its little packaged program, is almost 500 megs. Like almost, I mean, like really, like almost a gig. I mean, half of the gig. Like what is that? The LAN.
They're asking about Jerry. Jerry was talking about getting his mining build from Puget, and if you're a part of that and everything.
Yeah, so I talk to Jerry pretty regularly, as you guys see on that channel.
Who is Jerry? Someone asked.
Jerry is Barnacles. So if so we want to link his channel. Barnacles has about almost 1 million followers on YouTube. Him and Jay's 2 Cents are like buddies. But he's just working right now with Puget Systems, which is his kind of sponsor. He's wanting to put a mining rig together. And I was kind of pushing him months ago to try to do a mining rig. I'm like, hey, let's do a collab and you know, put a mining rig together. I mean, Jerry's into hardware and stuff like that, and I thought it would be kind of cool to take a more kind of extend the olive branch to a fellow YouTuber that's more towards gaming and other cool stuff, builds and stuff, to try to find out, you know, if we could find some kind of happy medium between the gaming and, you know, gaming and us, you know, from the mining side, and just do, you know, a collab video with those guys. And he seems interested. They are going to build him, I believe, a rig, or you know, they're going to do it like I try to offer to do it, and then do some kind of deal with them on just on the video and all that kind of stuff. But it, you know, with him having that sponsorship through Puget, he has to do it through Puget. It's part of their agreement. But I've offered our services from a standpoint of ensuring that it's configured right and all that. So as being part of the video, I mean, we're kind of hoping that we get to be part of it. We'll see. It'd be good exposure for our channel, and then it allows me to get to an audience of folks that are, you know, maybe not understanding mining as much or have this stigma about mining. It's like, you know, anybody you talk about Bitcoin, like if you go out to a public area and you start talking Bitcoin, what's usually the first thing people say? Like, oh, isn't that drug money? And usually I'll pull out like a $1 bill and go, no, this is actually drug money. Circumstantially, there's some bad stuff that happens like any other currency that can happen with cryptocurrency. So, and that's what the media reports a lot more than the normal, what the benefits and stuff are, you know, of the currency and stuff is. So trying to get to a larger audience than help explain. You guys that are watching our channel learn, or we try to at least inform folks of not just how to mine. We're starting to branch into the other areas of what a background is on it. If we can get to a bigger, larger audience with that, then maybe that will get some more exposure to the industry. So working through Barnacles' channel will give us you know, access to a lot more folks to then help explain that side of it.
He said Barnacles mentioned on his Twitch stream yesterday that he was going to be doing something with Bitsby Turbine.
Oh, that's cool. No, I've kind of talked to him back and forth, so I mean, there's nothing super locked down. I'm hoping that it is. I'm working for us to do something with him, but I think it'd be good for everybody, just in general, to have that exposure. You know, guys. I mean, I know like a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, man, you're getting so many people into this, and it's killing us." And ETH is not driven based on difficulty anymore from our mining. We could put 10 times the mining equipment on the ETH network and it's not going to increase the difficulty. That is done right now. They are working, ETH now is entered into, in May it switched over to Ice Age, which is innate in the code that was artificially bringing the difficulty exponentially up. So they are looking from I have not watched the last live stream or the last dev meeting, which was this last Friday, but I've heard and seen just a few pieces written on it that they're going to slow that difficulty down, if not halt it, because they're not ready for proof of stake. So here soon it should just kind of stop, or at least go a lot slower on the difficulty. So like right now, with whatever you're making right now, it should not just each week halve again, right? So that's good news. And you know, if it's going to push it out to December, they're going to, you know, they probably are not going to step it back like we thought they would, but that means it's just not going to increase a lot more. And then it comes up with, and then it all comes down to predicated the value of ETH. Right now, ETH's been hanging around 260s, 270s. You know, if next week there's some good news about Ethereum and Bitcoin, to get some good positive exposure, and it blasts back up to 350, 400, you know, it's relative then. You know, I mean, there's some people that think that ETH's going to be parity with Bitcoin. I mean, that'd be sweet. I don't know if that'll happen. But I mean, if it's at parity at Bitcoin and it's at $2,700 and you could only earn 2 ETH a month, you still did pretty well. You know, if you're looking only at ROI side of it. So that's where it comes down to. The people in December, there's no way nobody predicted it was going to be 300 when it was $6. So that's part of the rush. I don't even know which one I just installed. Kind of talking, I think it was this one, MIE. Open. Some of this stuff I just kind of do like out of, here, we'll extract that one. So essentially I'm just downloading the drivers, guys, use the ASUS setup. I'm using a lot of their built-in scripting tools. And this is just the chipset stuff. We're just making sure all the drivers. This is something we usually don't do on the mining software because we really don't care. Like if you're doing a Windows build for a miner, I don't install any of the chipset drivers. It makes no difference. I've done it both ways. It makes no difference on the mining. It's all 100% unequivocally predicated on the driver, the base OS, and the actual card that you have. So chipset doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. Restart later. Realtek. There should be an ASUS setup here. Oh, I gotta extract them all first. Oh, that's blazing. Are you only going 195 megabits a second? Oh, now you woke up. Performance, resource manager, disk, right.
Let's get that down.
Huh? Realtek, that's what's pushing. 6% activity. So I go in this just to see. I like to see what the computer's working on. If you get really weird stuff like this, kind of where it's not consistent or something, it's usually because Windows is doing something else. I mean, it's barely even doing anything with that drive right now. But that scripted install probably actually had some kind of thread limiter that just doesn't let it go as fast as the machine will let it. That was me just extracting it. I'm going to extract this one too, and then we'll do those two together. Utilities, do I want any of the utilities? ASUS has their own CPU-Z. Done. Extract that guy. I'm gonna load that one up right now. I want to see it. Sure. View. Click, click, click. Loot is correct. Anybody that's played MMOs knows exactly what we mean by that. Oh, we're gonna have to overclock the crap out of this thing too. Different got it set up there. GP102. All right. We have not done the audio driver. If there's any questions, I'm not paying attention to the.
They're talking amongst themselves.
What's the failure rate for the version 7? The version 7S have not been well for us. Let's just say that. So these risers here, these red ones with the thing, I've had several of these go out. So I'm going to be reaching out to that vendor that we got them from and having a little discussion with them, because I probably have opened up, we ordered like 150 of them here. I have a box of 150 of them, and I probably went through 35 risers. Of the 35, I've lost 7. So not good. 20%. Yeah, about 20%. So that's a horrible. That's like in manufacturing, you'd shut the line down. So I'm going to be writing a little nice love letter to them about that. And then I'm going to be trying to place the bigger order on the version 8s. Because I think the minimum order on those are like 500. And if we get those, we're going to do some testing with that too. And if we don't have as much fill rates on those, then we'll start making packages of 10 packs, and we'll list them out on our site. I'm going to set up a Shopify setup. So then that's all handled on the back end. I don't have to write any of that code. And then it's all secure. It's HTTPS for you guys if you guys are buying it, and then we'll facilitate shipments of 10. So while you're at, probably ask for 10, just because if you lose a riser, I don't want you having to search for another one. If you're building a 6-card rig or a 7-card rig, it gives you a couple extra risers, and then we'll make that super competitive pricing. It'll be the cheapest risers you guys probably can find. So we're not going to make a ton of money on that kind of stuff. So I'd rather just have an opportunity. Since risers are hard to get, to where we at least break even, and it keeps care of the shipping and that, and we will look at shipping international for all those too. So we're going to look at the 8. That's the order that we'll be doing. I probably have another 90 left here, or probably more than 90, 100, about 110 actually, risers left here, and I could do like 10 packs of 10 for an initial thing, guys. But honestly, I don't want to ship these out to you guys if they're failing like that. So you know, I want to make sure that we have a good, if I have 1 or 2 out of a box of 100, that's still kind of crap, but it should be like I get 1 or 2 out of a box of 1,000 that fell. That's the level of fail rate that I want to see on the risers. So we got audio installed. Did it reboot? I didn't. It must have, because I don't have. Or no, it didn't. It was like I didn't see. Did I do the LAN driver? I think I did. CPZ. Remember which one I did not do. AI suite. Aura. She can change the aura. AI suite. AI charger. Intel extreme tuning. That's hilarious they put daemon tools on there. Aura. Let's get this installed. This allows us to change kind of the RGB stuff. Yeah, this thing installs like a boss. AI suite. This is kind of giving you guys a real time, you know, like a lot of the other reviewers do reviews of hardware. I'd much rather do, and you guys can tell me, I would much rather, maybe this is our breakout of our channel if we get into other hardware stuff than mining, that I don't mind doing this live in front of you guys. If this is, that makes the videos longer versus like getting that bite-sized consumption really quick. Maybe we can really take a good effort. Maybe I can, if I have somebody do it kind of part-time, make sure that all of our descriptions are buttoned down in the right time sequences if you want just the right information if you catch this after a live stream. But if you guys like the live stream format, I have no problem doing these live streams and going through it and kind of not just discovering it with you guys, but kind of leading everybody through it of what works for us. If that's invaluable to you guys, this is, I mean, we can turn the channel kind of not just doing the mining, but kind of doing builds and stuff like that in general. If, I mean, like if there's a new algorithm that's out and there's a new mining software out, you know, we do a lot of that stuff on the back end and then try to give you a kind of a final product. If it makes sense during that discovery, and you guys would like to see that kind of side of it, you know, I can start doing that with you guys. So you can kind of see it. It'll really kind of show you the approach to, you know, discovering things. So
Marshall's in the chat.
Marshall's in the chat. What's up? Turn it into a remote connectivity. So I can, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we discover, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, a lot of people are like, oh man, you guys are doing all this stuff, it's sweet, and you know, you guys are the best at this stuff. It's like, no, dude, I fail often, all the time, and you guys, and so do every other reviewers out there, fail often. That's the whole point of like agile development, is you fail often, you learn from it, and you make adjustments and improvements. So, you know, everybody's human, everybody's gonna make mistakes. If you keep doing the same thing all the time, then that might be a problem. But if you kind of work through it, discover it, and go, oh yeah, I can't forget that, you know, and then you go make a change to it, then yeah, you get better at it. Aura stopped working. That's hilarious. This Intel Extreme Tuning said, no soup for you. Dr. Dump. What? I have no idea what that is. That's great. Oh, it's Aura. It's Aura's output. So they link it back to this application version. And gave me. I guess this is the dump page, the shit page. And here's the dump that we just had.
Marshall's implying that he taught you everything you know about.
Marshall did not teach me everything that I know about crypto, but Marshall's a good dude. Let's get.
Somebody just called you Mr. Cartel.
Mr. Cartel.
That's awesome.
Maybe of cards. This is getting a little ridiculous up here. This is all. I mean, these backgrounds probably are making all the gamers go freaking out.
Reiterate, those are all empty.
Most of them are, not all of them.
Don't even fly.
Some of them are not. I mean, I got some over here. Like, was able to pick up a red dragon. I had another rig of these. I mean, we're getting like onesie twosies in now, guys. We're not wiping out everybody. I'll take the camera into Micro Center when I go out there. I might go out there tomorrow afternoon. Maybe we'll do. I'll do an episode or something out there. I'm gonna go out there and pick up a couple other things, but I'm leaving the cards out there. Yeah, this is a 570 Red Dragon, so it's there's stuff in there. Again, we're also gonna maybe on this next not this live stream today, but I want to try to get the raffle thing figured out. And what we'll do is we'll raffle off we'll do it through email. I got to get the filters set up. But ultimately, what I'm going to have you guys do is you guys will send me an email. I'll filter that into a list, and then we'll use an online, you know, verified raffle kind of thing. Maybe I'll ask Marshall if he has one built, but that can expose to make sure that you guys can see that it was absolutely random. And then we'll take all those lists of people sending us stuff, and maybe we'll do something like this where we'll give out like something like a 480X, you know, a 4-gigger. So and share some of the kind of the stuff. You guys have given us a lot of cool super chats, and you know, we've gotten, you know, some good exposure from everybody. We can you know, give back to the community. Actually, I'll put that one off to the side so I won't forget it and won't reuse it. So let's make sure it's in there. And this is installing. So we'll kind of promote it up and put it out there when it's going to happen. So if you guys are watching, you guys ain't freaking out that you missed the raffle. And then we'll do it live on there. So you'll have to get the reference from that video. So you got to watch the live stream to get the reference that you need to put in the subject. But yep, there you go. So that is a fresh, clean. We've had this open because I was going to use it for another thing, but we didn't need to. I already had enough of the thing. So this was an extra 4 gig RX 480. So I had it out of the plastic, but I hadn't even pulled off the end thing there. It's still new. 4 gig. So we'll do that on the next video. We'll give you the code to put into the subject, send it to our email, and then we'll put it in live on the episode. And then we'll give away a RX 480.
How do you deal with dust in your rigs?
Usually, so I have an air compressor, so I will shut the rig down. I'll take it out. I'll just blow it through the air compressor. You just got to be careful if you're using something larger than a can of air. With enough pressure, you only need about 60 pounds of pressure. So like when you can set your you know, get just like a little cheap one from Sears. I think they're all Sears. Dude, is Sears going out of business? I think Sears is out of business. That sucks. Lowe's, Home Depot, something like that. You can get those little kind of air compressors. They're much cheaper, much cheaper. Like people go out and buy cans of airs. I bought a couple just because I might want to blow something out. They're good for like the small applications, but if you're gonna do like big rigs or your home computers and stuff like that, go out and buy like a $50 air compressor. Then you'll make that up in like 8 cans of air. Use that. It's about 40-60 pounds of pressure, no more than that. If you go up to, I know it goes to 120. If you do that, you're gonna blow your risers off. It's hilarious. You will. I've done it, so I know. And that was that mistake stuff that I'm talking about, where I learned never to do that again. Because most of the risers are flat, and if you put a lot of heavy air on, I mean, you know, you blast air on it, it will literally rip the riser off the bottom of the card. And it's hilarious because it's not just blowing it off the card. If it's actually locked onto the card, it actually rips the actual board off of the connector. It's bad news. But it's a lot cheaper than going to buy a can of air. So over time. So yeah, that's why we get those out. Okay, so this is rebooted. I'm gonna do, or maybe it's, I don't even know if I've rebooted it yet. I think I've done that. Not worried about Daemon tools right now. We did the AI suite. That's on there. 5-way optimization. So we're set to performance already. I don't know what that dark fan is. Oh, turbo mode.
You just clicked it. You didn't even.
No, I'm looking at what this is asking me to do. So it's doing some kind of yeah. No, we'll leave that off. Usually enhancements on that. What it'll do is it'll make a pre-cache usually. So it targets that turbo mode. If it's the way I think they've written it, it'll pre-cache all the assets when you go to double-click an exe and it goes and loads at least the base stuff to memory. It'll pre-cache those to where when you click it, it just auto launches them. It doesn't have to go fetch. That is not that big of a deal if you have an SSD or a NVMe drive, because it's not really having to fetch like on a hard drive. Let's see here. I think that's it. So that should be all the drivers. Let's see. I don't think this thing had Bluetooth, or this does not have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Task Manager.
Pull it down.
Huh? Oh, my over. No, I was actually not wanting to go there. I wanted to go to Device Manager. Really? The H280i V2. Okay, so Windows base driver won't find it, so we have to go out to Corsair and download it. This should be for the Corsair link. H80i. If you guys notice, I use Google for practically everything. If you give it enough information, usually it gets you to where you need to go, so you don't have to go onto their website and start trying to search. Use Google's search engine. And a lot of companies also have a Google search appliance that will take the meta tag data from their local databases and also cache it back up to Google servers. So it's kind of like a Hive type of setup. So if you give Google enough information, if it doesn't have it in its local memory piece, it will look at its secondary network and go through all that kind of stuff. So it is, just give it Google enough information. Most of the time you'll find what you need. I don't remember installing Java on here, but I guess one of the applications installed Java. Only reason why I'm having that is because some of the applications and stuff that she'll be running will use Java runtime, and we do sometimes play Minecraft with the kids, and that requires it. Nope. Do not mess with my browser settings. Nobody uses Yahoo. Well, if you do use Yahoo, that's cool. I don't have any problems with that. Yahoo, it's just...
Didn't we do a video on 1060s where you plugged them in and benchmarked them and everything?
Yeah, the video 2 videos ago.
All right, there you go.
2 videos ago we did...
Andrew Garcia.
We did the PNY 1060 OC and the EVGA GTX 1060 single fan. Right there. I do have a couple other 1060s around here, so we could go more crazy with it, but what else we got over here? Yeah. Corsair link. We're getting distracted. We need this for H80i. Okay, this is not taking me where I want to go. Downloads. I told you Corsair link. There it is. It was just I did not scroll down. Skip this step. I just want to download your stuff. I do not need to have my information in your customer master file. This is done. What am I opening with?
Did you say 9 gigabytes? Somebody thought you said 9 gigabytes.
9 gigabyte what?
On the GTX 1060.
No, I should 6 gigabyte, 3 gigabyte. Maybe I said 9 gigabyte. It was not 9 gigabyte.
It was 2 separate cards, it's not a 6 and a 3 together.
So if I said not, yeah, it's a 6 and a 9, or a 6 and a 3, and they have
2 separate cards. One is a 3, one is a 6.
Yes, and they happen to go 9 gigabytes per second. And if I said 9 gigabyte, I was thinking of the throughput on the memory. So. Corsair link installer, install, yes. Always trust components from Corsair. Uncheck. So I check all that stuff, guys, just because it's not paranoia, but it's like if they have their software compromised in any kind of way, you've essentially accepted all of their tokens, essentially, to say that. I was trying to, when I pause like that, I try to think of a way to explain it to you guys versus trying to understand how the back end of certificates work. But essentially, you're signing, anything that's signed by them, you would accept. I would rather know when something is happening with that. So, like if Corsair's doing an update or something's happened and it says, "Hey, do you still trust me?" You know, I can do a quick, if it's a push request versus me pulling. If you're doing something that's a pull, if something's coming at you, it's a push, right? In the most simple terms. So if Corsair or somebody like that pushing something to me, if you already have that accepted certificate in the back end, it's just going to do it, right? It's going to install it, and I would rather have it pop up and say, "Do you still trust me?"
On Twitter the other day, did you post a rig of 1070s or were those 1060s in there with the gen oil? Somebody was asking.
I post so many rigs.
I know.
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was probably, those were 1070s. If they were the ones that kind of looked like this little guy like this, I don't know if you've seen the little thing. If they look like they had the GeForce GTX things, those were the 1070s. That's these guys right here. Oh, these 1070s right here. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the 81060 rig I did a while back.
You just said 1060.
1070. God, that's why you're here. Help me out. All right, cool. Corsair links on and all. It's showing all the cores and the CPU cores and all that cool stuff. So it's not getting the other fan. So it's not getting either fan. Never mind. So that's the pump speed, but these are the two fans. And they're spinning. I don't know why it's not giving me the fans on those, but performance. Let's hear it. It made no audible change. We'll leave it on performance. I'm gonna be running hard here in a second. So, all right, everything looks like it's installed. Oh, it's a horrible desktop name. Hold on. We gotta change that stat. Oh, I gotta remember to activate this. Change. I do not want you to be called that. I want you to be called. What do you want your computer to be called?
Just Mrs BBT is fine.
That was your login. I can't change it to that.
Oh, I don't know.
Moral. That's one of her MMO names. Must restart. That's fine. Oh, and we're gonna do one other thing, guys. Now, if you guys are talking and you guys are not paying attention right now, I want you to pay attention to this. So when you're going to do some like nice hash mining and stuff like that, you're going to need to change your actual virtual memory settings. You do that by, here, let me start from the beginning because I want to make sure you guys understand that. We'll start later.
Make sure you slide the box down out of the corner.
Yeah, you're going to want to right click here. You're going to go to, actually, in here you want to go to properties. So you open up File Explorer, fine, go to properties here, and then you want to go to advanced system settings, and under performance here, under advanced, we're going to change this. We're going to uncheck this box, we're going to manage it ourselves. And you can put 16, I usually do 20, 128 to 24, 496. I set it up to pretty high settings there for virtual memory, so you're effectively giving up a little bit of space there, but restart now. I noticed when I unplugged that blinking where the monitor kept going on and off, After I unplugged the HDMI and plugged it back in after the driver was installed, it seemed to get rid of that issue. For anybody keeping track of that.
Can you address Joe's super chat, please?
Oh, we got a super chat. Super chat. What wallet service should I start using out? And using Coinbase for transactions is a good idea. I mean, any of the online ones that are hosted, that are managing your coins. I mean, there's always an innate risk when you're not holding it. So let's say your least risk in the world is if you create a local wallet, you capture your private keys, and then you take that local wallet offline. That's like probably the safest thing you could possibly do. Because now you're not connected in any capacity. The next level would be if your local wallet here, like in your, again, at your home, stored with, you know, an encrypted folder or on a device that's like that you are physical in possession in, and you don't use that much. That's kind of the next layer. Because one's a paper wallet, it's not online. This one's kind of connected in some capacity when you plug it in, like through Treasure or something like that. And then you start getting into, after that, starts changing your security profile. After that, now you're talking localized wallet that's kept online. So like, let's say for Ethereum, it's like a Mist wallet. You download it, it downloads a full node, it has a wallet tied to it. Full node just means you have a copy of the entire blockchain. You're sitting there you're looking at transactions, it validates all the stuff that's in your local wallet there, and you have a wallet tied to it, so then you can have coins in the wallet, but it's online, it's on a computer. You probably have a passcode set up for it. Hopefully you have a passcode set up for it. You should have a passcode set up for it, because most of them won't let you do it without a passcode. But it's still online, it's still accessible, so if your system is compromised, they could copy the wallet.dat, but they would need your passcode to crack it. That's your next kind of third level of security. And then after that, I really need to make a chart on this. Then your next one after that is, then if you go to like a hosted service like Coinbase or something like that, now it's it's on the internet, but it's within a company's domain, within an enclave, secured and managed by their localized server set, their centralization there. Some of them store directly to blockchain, so you can go out and see your coins on their stuff. Some stores on one of their hot wallets, which is kind of an internal reference piece. And then some of those, like Coinbase, have cold storage where you can move it off there, and they kind of do what I said in the very beginning, to where they'll take that, put it offline, and just have some local paper records to get it back, and then fire those disks back up. So that's kind of your level 4 of it. And then you start getting into kind of the kind of area where I'd put a dotted line if I was building a chart to say, don't put a lot into this, but it's super awesome for convenience standpoint. Then you could get an online web-based wallet. I think blockchain.io used to do it for Bitcoin. I don't know if they still do. But there's like in browser, like Jack's Wallet's a perfect example that was actually compromised through some browser hacks.
They're saying in the chat that was all proven to be fake news.
For which one? Jack's was? Okay, that's good. I hadn't researched it, but you have the Jack's Mobile, which is kind of like a dotted line to the side, which is a lot harder to crack because the way the cell phones create with their encryption on a cell phone, it's super hard. Unless you got a rooted phone, you're probably not going to crack somebody's Jack's wallet on their phone. That's like some like dark web, not even NSA type of shit, right? I mean, I'm talking like that's really super hard stuff to crack if you have, and I don't even think it has been cracked like from a standpoint of your phone wallet. If you have, and that's what I use, honestly. I mean, that's I keep a lot of stuff in cold storage. Like I don't have stuff online. Like my big bulk of stuff is offline. The stuff that I use a lot is on a phone, and I have that over across a couple phones with the same wallet. So, and those keys backed up. So I use the Jacks for that. But you can have the online in-browser kind of setup for another wallet if you want that to use. So I mean, it really comes down to the different layers. There's nothing like super user-friendly. I mean, you can download Mist, it gives you an ID, and then you can use that, but nobody's really cracked, I don't think, short of maybe like Jack's, and there's some other ones. I just don't use the other ones that have made it simple. But simple usually omits some kind of level of, I wouldn't say security, but it's just, you know, if you make it hard, it's hard for other people to try to get into it too. So I've always recommended Jaxx. I wish they did a lot more coins. On the iOS, it only does like 7 different coins or 6 different coins. On Android, it does a lot more. But hopefully that answers a lot of your stuff. I mean, Coinbase to transact is fine. I mean, I don't know how much you're moving, Joe. Hopefully that answered that $5 super chat. All right, so we got pretty much all the baseline stuff done on this now. What I would do usually after that, well, just because I would like to figure out how fast something is, benchmarking. Oh, I want to get the MSI Afterburner. And we're going to download a few mining apps. Or we're going to download a CPU mining app. I'm going to get, what's a good, nope, I'm going to go to their website. I don't know if I can actually show this on YouTube. Maybe I can.
What is it?
Commercial. I'm gonna have to do some research on this because I don't know how much I can. Like, if I'm gonna do benchmarks with you guys on this, I think I have to buy like the good version. Just because commercially, since this is monetized video, I think that they consider that like, they consider that kind of like since I actually pay taxes and have to do this with a company, you know, with my actual company. If I'm showing benchmarks even for like a hobby, I think it's I think they require me to do, like, if I'm going to show 3D Mark, because I'd like to see the 3D Mark performance of something like this. I think I have to use the commercial version. Where is, there it is. And the commercial version of 3D Mark's like $1,500. Maybe if I branch into the gaming side for, we're gonna get Afterburner on here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and, I mean, I could copy already pre-built mining software, but I'll tell you what, for time's sake, would you guys want me just to copy an already pre-done, and I know the answer to this, I don't even know why I'm asking, copy the already pre-done thing I have for Monero, or do you guys want to see it from scratch? Like me actually go out, get the download, configure it, that kind of stuff. Let me know in the chat. I don't know how big of a pre-done.
There's 2 pre-dones. Let's get straight to the business.
That works. That's not what I was.
Somebody else said the hard way.
The hard way. Well, it's not the hard way. It's just like I have to do, like I'd have to go out and download stuff. Yes, I'm gonna do that. So this one's pre-done. So one thing I do have to do is I have to come in here under advanced. Oh no. I got to go into CMD.
Slide it down.
So if you go into command prompt, you go into GP edit, which is the local group policy editor. You got to come in here. I believe it's under software. Hold on. I usually have my cheat sheet. I'm going to get to my cheat sheet here. I can't remember the path off the top of my head. It is not that one.
Somebody said you didn't put your Intel Inside sticker out front. It won't man as fast without the sticker.
It's on top. Right there, buddy. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for. I can't remember. I don't do this one a lot, and I'm gonna give credit to these dudes for Monero. There is a wiki page out there to unlock the. We have to go out and unlock the pages, and that is. There isn't a find on here, is there? There isn't. One second. Let me get. I have my little punch list over here on this one. Windows security, user rights, local policies. That's right. Windows security. I'm gonna go into security, local policy, user rights right here. And then under here, under lock pages in memory, we need to add, and then this one is, if you go into, and you can find here, find law, and user, Windows, it'll give you an echo response.
Nothing. Never mind.
So which one?
Check chat. I don't know. He's giving you a chain.
Yeah, there's a echo. I think it's percent like logged in user. Something like that. Nope. That just echoed what I was doing. It's Mrs BBT. Because that's who's logged in. So that just allows that. I think I have to restart after that. Lock pages. And then we'll go ahead and run XMR on this. And we'll see. I got the Ryzen. The Ryzen's like 657 hash, I think. The Ryzen 1800X.
It's a party every day with new Mardi Gras Festival and Parade. With authentic New Orleans floats, spicy Cajun food, hurricane cocktails, live music, and thousands of free beads. Go big, y'all. Go Six Flags.
Alright. So boots like a boss. Alright, so I'll make this available, guys, if you guys want us to package this up. But essentially, we'll send the link to where we got this at for the CPU miner, and then I'll zip this up and put this on file share for you guys. But you can create your own binaries. You don't have to use the one that I'm sending you. But there we go. Let's see what it does. Hash. Not good. Not near what the Ryzen's doing. The Ryzen gets like 650. Oh, but that's an 1800X, and that's probably not a fair comparison. Let's look at performance here. It's only doing the main 6 cores. Highest hash 303 on Monero. I don't know what a standard i7 does. I'll have to look at that. Bench. All 12 threads versus a Ryzen bench. You can see that that's made the Corsair thing go red as it was working. Get don't mind the dog. Skylake. Let's do a single benchmark on it against that reference. Oh, there we go. So this processor on a single core standpoint is showing 14% faster than the 1800 Ryzen, at least when it comes to CPU-Z. So right there, 14%. Can you switch that to the main screen? Because that way, like they see it in the corner, but I don't think they actually see it.
Switch back to it.
Huh?
Nothing. You're good.
So yeah, we'll do this one more time. We'll see how it's consistent.
got another super chat from Joe.
Okay, I'll take a look. So from a multi-core standpoint, it's getting beat, which makes sense because there's more cores on that 1800X. But from a single core standpoint, it's showing 15% faster than the Ryzen. So let's get it down to. Do they have the slower Ryzens? No, they don't. I was trying to see a 6-core versus a 6-core. Let's look and see against. So this processor's slower, and this has a lot to do with the clock speed here difference. Where the 77, so this for the i7 7700K is at 4.2 gigahertz. This is at 3.5 right now, and it's showing that. We're gonna take this up to around here, and then recheck it here. But I'm gonna do one more test. Let's get Cinebench. Cinebench is free. R15. Oh my ads, get off of here. This is the let me download you. I know what you are. Where is download at? There it is. I'm gonna check the Cinebench on it, and then I'm gonna reboot this and overclock it. Maybe. The last part of this download until like ISDN speeds. Oh, we got a super chat here while we're waiting. Joe Roberts, what are you running most of your mining rigs, Windows or Linux? If you don't mind me saying, how approximately rigs are you own and operate? Joe, we're right around 62 rigs in total, and for the whole BBT crew. Combined, and then we run almost all Linux. Besides on the last probably 7-ish, which are NVIDIA rigs that are running Windows. Just because I don't like I haven't found a really stable Linux build, and I haven't done Pimp OS. I know everybody always brings it up. I need to do it. I will try to get to that this week. I will buy a copy of that and give it a whirl. It's interesting to see the performance of like a NVMe drive when it comes to like lots of files, a lot of asynchronous transfer back and forth. It's nothing to shake home about, to be honest with you. I mean, my spindle drive, my like Velociraptors back in the day would have unzipped this a hell of a lot faster. Hell, I might use this as a test and actually put a spindle drive in there and try to unzip the same thing. Not now on this one, but I mean, it's just like we're talking 30 megs, and there's got to be some kind of optimization I'm missing there on this. There's nothing that's this small should take this long to unzip. Yeah, because big files should move pretty quick. Let's go into media and let's look at something that's just copying through the network performance. It's a 6 gig file through my network. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's interesting. Don't know what the dip is for. Unless it was still, it had to spin that drive up that's sitting on. So it's through my network right now. It looks like it's maintaining 110 megabits. That little dip there might have been just the drive pre-caching. That's on a SAN, or not a SAN, it's a, well, I guess it's a SAN. It's a stack of hard drives in one of the little Western Digital boxes that are like a local SAN. It's a gigabit. And I think that's pretty close to the limit of the SAN, not so much the limit of this drive. Interesting little dips. And then I'm going to make a local copy of the same file on this drive. I'm going to see what it actually... So let's do this. Let's copy 1.3 gigabytes. Let's do copy. So for both of them it should have it, and it didn't, so we're going to cancel that. So I'm just looking at total disk performance. So yeah, it looks like it's in the gigabits per second when making a local copy. 1.6 gig. Oh, slowed down. Something else accessing the drive when it does that, and then it slows it down. But it peaks pretty quick. I'm gonna do it one more time. See if that still has that same dip. Nope, something wasn't using the drive. So it's 36 gig right there. We'll get rid of that. I don't need that on there either. Empty. I guess that was a little drive performance. Now let's look at Cinebench. I may not decompile, I may not translate and adapt it, I may not make it for rent or sell it. But it looks like I can show you guys its output. Alright, run CPU. This is all stock settings, so, and I don't know, I don't think the Elgato affects anything with that. It shouldn't. So that's just output for video, so I'm gonna see. I guess now this is a i7 7800X. So out of the box, a 1265. So let's close that. Sure, we'll save that benchmark. Didn't we have the Intel Extreme Tuning? No, No, I do not want to participate in your program. Thank you very much. And we are going to, well, they have their own benchmark here. See what this thing does. I was actually going to try to overclock it and then re-benchmark in Cinebench, but 3.67 looks like 3.74, so that's where it looks like it's 3.8. Wow, the max core frequency goes to a range of 11.32. They're really trying to make this software last for a while. Trying to see if there's any other questions. Joe, I get your question answered. Maximum processor. So 1886 hair curved when trying to upload the profile. Nice one, Intel. Alright, so let's do advanced tuning. I agree. I'll read you later. And $122 max on the turbo boost. That's enabled. Show each of the cores. And that's the cache. We take a soft overclock. That should drive that to Y. Looks like it was. We'll hold it. We'll go back to benchmarking and see what that brings it up to, if it's stable at that. 3.9. $393 is the fastest I've seen so far. I want to break into the 400s with this, so we'll, or the 4 gigahertz range. $393. Actually, CPU marks went down. So I don't know what's up with that, unless it just did not maintain 393 long enough where this one looks like it maintained pretty quickly. Utilization was high and this stayed pretty constant. But if I get rid of the boost and just try to have it fixed, We'll see if it can do it. Is not getting out of 3. I'm gonna have to overclock this differently. This soft tool kind of is meh. Active core count. Just drop in the cores. $1880, 92, advanced tuning. Non-turbo. So I'm just messing with the turbo clocks, not with the actual core. I'm going to do one more here, and then I'm going to do Cinebench, and then I'm going to restart it and do it. We're going to do it from 9.4, 9.2. So by changing that, you can see this line where the package temperature is kind of staying constant, and what I'm trying to do is maintain max frequency for a longer sustained time. I do want to maintain all of the CPU utilization should be max the whole time too. There's benchmark tool kind of sucks. $1886, yeah, this thing kind of is fixed. Oh, I didn't copy a thing for Cinebench. Oh, you know what? Let's do this real quick again and see if it XMR. Check and see if those settings change. No, it actually looks like it made it worse. $72, $76. Yeah, the Ryzen 1600X I got over there, and we'll do a different video with that one. And against this one right now is showing like 600 right here. So far, I'm not that impressed with the Intel guys. I mean, this 7800X. Let's do. Here, I'll do one more Cinebench real quick. We left that on here. I'm gonna get a link out to it. With the core changes. Because this should max all the cores all the time, and I can hear it actually spin up. If anybody's curious to how much juice we're using. About 160 watts, because it's not really using the GPU here. This is only just the actual system and very limited GPU use. It's all CPU. It looks like we went down with overclocking it, so I don't think it's I think it's slightly overclocking, maybe one core or two, but it's not doing all of them, so we're gonna see if we can change that real quick. I mean, this isn't a bad machine still. I mean, it's an awesome machine. It's just for the cost, the $299 is not looking. And I'm gonna give it a fair shake out here in a second, but it's like I'm not seeing. What I'd expect. So, go in the BIOS here, 7. It's just in the more details. So 4 gigahertz. So this says it's turbo max is 4. I've never seen 4. I'm getting that little blinky issue with the driver not loaded. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna go XMP rather. That's the memory we put in there. That's the HDMI, not liking. Just gonna get 114 out of it. It keeps doing that, guys, because of the core, the actual. HDMI does not, when the driver's not loaded on this, it doesn't send enough signal to go through the long cable that we have, so it keeps blinking now. All the rest of this is good. Smart drive configuration, CPU storage configuration. We do not need above 4G decoding on this. Save changes. Let's see if it can handle a forced overclock to 4.1 gigahertz. It posted, so that's good. And booted. Check CPU ID. Turn to fill. Control steps. Not yet. 1 second. Core speed here. Well, that doesn't look like much. Do a quick check like this. We're going to start to, I think, wrap this up. I think we're getting the call from the old family because we're going to be going out to Six Flags today, like we said yesterday. So if you guys are going to be out in the St. Louis area and Six Flags, I'll be roaming around there. You'll probably be able to see my SpaceX hat. This won't be the last time we do the thing with this machine, but you know, we'll look to have a live stream tomorrow. And we'll be testing a couple different cards, but I'm going to be doing a build, this build with you guys, which is these classified 1080s. So we got 6 of these right now. I'm going to be doing a Zcash build with these. 1080 is about the only thing we can find right now, and some 1080 Ti's. So that build, so we improved it a little bit. 1277, still not real good. I mean, decent. I guess this is. I keep trying to compare this to a the 8-core 1700 or 1700X and 1800X Ryzen, and it's really not that. Do an OpenGL test. This is going to use the GPU and the processor. And we'll see what it's doing. Yeah, we'll wrap this thing up, guys, in the next 9 minutes. So if you got any questions, we'll kind of cover that. I'm checking to see if you guys have any questions.
Did you answer Joe's other super chat?
Yeah, I did. Mrs BBT, Zach. And I'll see, guys, if I'm going to do some research on the actual benchmark stuff. Like, if you guys like to see some of that, or I can kind of split some of that channel up. Well, obviously, we're going to get back to mining builds this week, and we'll go through this one. I'll build this one with you guys, answer some other questions, and then we'll have a 1080 Ti build also. And maybe this week, if it shows up, we'll have the Vega. And if we have the Vega, we'll do that episode. Trust me, you guys will pay attention to Twitter. You guys will see that. And that is horrible. Is this for reals? Is this thing just saying that a 12 core with a ATI Radeon HD 7700 with the OpenGL is faster than the latest Intel processor, 4-core, 8-thread, no, 6-core, 12-thread with a 1080 Ti? That's hilarious. And a GTX 460. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's some issue with the running it through the capture card, guys. I don't know. There shouldn't be, but that's just crazy talk. That thing should be like 300 frames per second or something. Yeah, I want to save that to make fun of it. All right. So if you guys have any other questions, we will. Yeah, once that Vegas shows up, guys, it's gonna be sitting in this box here, and we're gonna go through it. We're gonna do. I'll probably spend 2 hours talking about it. We'll go through all the different mining software that we can throw against it. We'll do a couple different driver installs. We'll check power. We'll check every type of mining thing we can think of on it. So, if you guys got any other questions, I can get them answered. Otherwise, that was the kind of OS build of this. Some basics, not super impressed compared to a Ryzen. I think it's probably a BIOS update or two away from being good, being real good and competitive against even its previous 7700K. The temps looked pretty good. I saw a lot of people saying that they had problems with temps, but I didn't see temps anything over 52 Celsius. So that's not bad under a load at all. So it looks like the H80i is more than sufficient, at least for the 7800X. So again, real-time builds. Drop us a line. Leave. Did you leave Afterburner running in the background? Close it. I never left it running. Afterburner was not running on that. Yeah, and the Afterburner wasn't running. We'll do a comprehensive review. I'd like to do like 3D Mark and a couple of the other things, but I want to read their EULAs and make sure, since we're a monetized channel, I think I need the commercial version. So we like making sure we're doing things correctly and legit. And if we need to get that, then I can go ahead and work to get them, get those other pieces of software that we need to make sure we have some proper benchmarks and some of the hardware that we're going to test with you guys. So I'd say check we're going to make sure all this stuff's out there for you guys to take a look at on Amazon and stuff. We're going to be doing some stuff with the website again this afternoon and then through tomorrow, and hopefully get some basic shell stuff out there. And stay tuned. We'll be giving a GPU away on the next live stream, so get out there, let folks know for us in the forums and in Discord and stuff. I'm going to be giving out, we'll give a code on the channel on that, and you guys will be getting a RX 480 4 gig. I mean, right now, I mean, that's a little bit of cheddar, I think. I mean, that's like a $400 card now these days. It used to be about $250. So stay tuned, let everybody know, and we'll catch you guys probably tomorrow night. We're gonna look and see what the schedule is, but probably we'll get a quick video in tomorrow, and then throughout the next week. All right, guys.
Just click that.